Welcome to African American History Lesson 32. In this video, we will discuss gender and resistance in slave narratives. Throughout the 19th century, enslaved Black women authored narratives that revealed how gender shaped their experiences of violence, resistance, and survival. These first-hand accounts were critical to exposing the dual oppressions of slavery and patriarchy. They brought attention to sexual violence and to the complexities of womanhood under enslavement. Enslaved African American women were excluded from legal protections against sexual assault. Their bodies were treated as property, subject to repeated abuse and reproductive exploitation. In defiance of this brutal system, many women resisted in whatever ways they could. They physically fought off attackers, prepared and ingested abortifacients from plants, fled with their children, or in rare but tragic cases, committed infanticide to spare their children from a life in bondage. These acts were desperate but powerful assertions of bodily autonomy and humanity in a system designed to strip away both. Slave narratives offered direct personal testimonies that exposed the horrors of slavery while underscoring the intelligence, resilience, and moral agency of the enslaved. These autobiographical accounts often detailed the acquisition of literacy, courageous escapes, and the emotional devastation of family separation. More than just records of experience, they were political tools that challenged racist assumptions and fueled the growing abolitionist movement. Narratives written by formerly enslaved Black women were shaped not only by the trauma of slavery, but also by societal expectations of femininity in the 19th century. These texts often focused on the centrality of family, the struggle to preserve modesty and dignity, and the constant threat of sexual violence. Unlike the narratives of formerly enslaved men, which emphasized individualism and reclaimed masculinity, women's narratives offered insight into the intersection of racial and gendered violence, as well as the quiet daily acts of resistance embedded within caregiving and survival. Enslaved women's accounts of slavery in both the United States and the Caribbean became foundational to abolitionist and early feminist discourse. Their testimonies provided irrefutable evidence of the cruelty of slavery, particularly its sexual violence, and forced broader political movements to confront the gendered dimensions of racial oppression. These voices became catalysts for change. They influenced public opinion and laid the groundwork for future advocacy on behalf of women and marginalized communities. Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl, written by Harriet A. Jacobs under the pseudonym Linda Brent, is one of the most influential and intimate slave narratives published in the 19th century. First released in 1860, the work exposes the unique suffering enslaved women endured, especially under the threat of sexual violence. The history of Mary Prince, a West Indian slave, related by herself, is a powerful first-person account dictated by Mary Prince and transcribed by an abolitionist ally. Published in 1831 by the London Society for the Abolition of Slavery, it marked the first narrative of an enslaved Black woman to be published in Britain. It offered an unflinching portrayal of slavery's brutality from a woman's perspective. Slave narratives authored by Black women like Mary Prince and Harriet Jacobs stand as powerful testimonies to gendered resistance within the institution of slavery. These works did more than document brutality. They confronted the legal and cultural erasure of Black womanhood, exposing the sexual violence, family separation, and moral contradictions of a nation built on liberty. By centering their voices, these narratives reshaped political discourse, advancing both abolition and early feminist movements. They continue to inspire critical reflection on justice and dignity across generations. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, please follow us on the social media platforms listed on the screen.